I'm Genevieve and this is Lauren, and today we're going to be analyzing a poem by Victoria Chang, and it's called Barbie Chang's Father Calls.
So now I'll be reading the poem out loud just so you guys can hear it.
Barbie Chang's father calls her again, again he calls her, still knows how to dial a cell phone. Barbie Chang's father has another problem, always has a problem, doesn't know he is liminal. He says Barbie Chang's mother criticizes him. All is wrong. Today he calls his hands handles. Today his handles hurt. Today Barbie Chang's mother handles the bad news poorly. Today the doctor thinks 3 months, but says 6. No one can fix Barbie Chang's mother. Once her mother had good hearing, could hear anything, see and smell everything. Corners were always too sharp, too dark, no hearth, always harping on. Everyone, what was wrong with everyone? Too dumb, too short, too tall. Not enough college, collar too white, moon too fraction, moon too waxing when she is not yelling at him or asking about the taxes. Has Barbie Chang finished her taxes? Again, asking about the taxes, the same taxes, or whether she can fix his brain. She lies on her side, thin body, shaped like a large ear.
Each line is a jam. She continues on the thought even though she changes lines or changes from one couplet to the next. And it's just a unifying idea, I think. It's to keep making sure that the reader is going through the poem and they just read through it slowly. They think about what they're reading, and it has a large effect on the reader.
So looking at stanza 1, it says Barbie Chang's father calls again, calls her again, again he calls. The word again is repeated 3 times and 2 times are in a row, and the word calls is repeated a lot. I think it just sort of goes to show, like, since her father has dementia, it's like a lot of things get repeated. He might forget what he said and like say it again, or redo things, or be confused.
I think also it's important that she starts the line with Barbie Chang's father calls because it's the name of the poem. So I think it's just relevant that she's inserting that in the first line, so you read that and it has an effect on you. And it's literally Barbie Chang's father is calling her, so it's talking about what's literally happening. And so I think that's important. We can do the second stanza now, and it starts with the word her. So as I said before, it's continuing the thought from the last couplet. And so her still knows how to dial a cell phone. Barbie Chang's father has. So in this stanza, I think it's showing how she's very surprised at the mental capabilities her father still has. He hasn't succumbed completely to dementia. So in the next stanza, as it's continuing on the thought from last, so liminal, he says Barbie Chang's mother criticizes him, all is wrong. So liminal, we looked this up actually, it means transitioning. So what I was thinking is that he's transitioning from a state where he knew everything, where he's a fully functioning adult, and now he's going to a crippling state where he doesn't fully understand everything. And so then it's also saying that Barbie Chang's mother is criticizing him. So it's starting to give us part of Barbie Chang's mother's character. We start to understand that she's a little bit of a complainer, she's upset.
Next stanza says, Today he calls his hands handles, today his handles hurt. So obviously again we have a repetition of today 2 times in a row and then a 3rd time. The most interesting thing about this stanza to me is the word handles. When he says he calls his hands handles, the way that I originally looked at that was that, like, since he's sort of losing his mental capacity with dementia, his hands, like his physical body, is sort of like the handle he has on reality. And then when it says his handles hurt, it's sort of showing that he's starting to almost lose the control that he has over himself.
So we can do the next stanza now. Today, Barbie Chang's mother handles the bad news poorly. So we don't know what the bad news is yet, but in the next stanza she's going to go into what the bad news is and why she's going to react poorly to that. But Barbie Chang's mother is not having a good day, essentially. Like, when you have dementia, sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. It depends, because memory is not fixed.
The next stanza says, today the doctor thinks 3 months, but says 6, no one can. It's basically defining the bad news that Lauren talked about that is upsetting Barbie Chang's mother, and the news is that the doctor thinks that the father is only going to live for 3 months, but he tells them that it's going to be 6 months. It's a really upsetting thing, because you don't know how long your family member really has left. Like, it could be 6 months or it could be 3, like,
yeah.
You don't really know.
Well, I think it also gives them hope, because it's like, 6 months, well, we have him for this long. But at the same time, it's debilitating, because it's saying that his illness is going to kill him eventually. We know he's going to die.
So the next stanza says, could hear anything, see and smell everything, corners were So it's basically still talking about Barbie Chang's mother. It sort of starts describing this image of Barbie Chang's mother in the past as sort of like a very critical and perceptive woman. Like she was always really involved in what was going on. She was paying attention to what others were doing. And like the fact that her senses are starting to go just doesn't fit well with her personality since she's such a controlling and demanding person.
So the next stanza is always too sharp, too dark, no hurt, always harping on. So we're still talking about Barbie Chang's mother, which could be a little bit confusing, but it definitely is still talking about her. And it's starting to describe her criticisms. So like you said, she was really controlling, demanding, and so now, even though she is sick and we don't necessarily know what illness it is, we know that she's still criticizing people. So she still has that one part of her personality, but now it's out of anger.
They do have the repetition of always again, and also like there's two pronunciations of the word hearth/hearth, and if you pronounce it as hearth, it kind of has like assonance with harping because they don't have the like R sound. So, and they both start with H too.
So the next stanza, it's still continuing her complaining. So it's not enough college, collar, too white, moon, too fraction. It's more of her exacting opinion. She wants people to have more education. She wants them to look a certain way. So it's just describing more of her complaints.
It almost seems like at this point she's complaining not really about like specific things, but just for the sake of complaining, because she says not enough college, and then she also says collar too white, and like white collar worker, a higher up job, like it's not really like manual labor, it's like educated labor. So kind of like saying not enough college and like too much college almost in the same thing. It's sort of like complaining about like the opposite things, which doesn't really make sense.
See, I didn't see that, so that's really interesting. But yeah, I thought of the collar, like a physical collar. So they're talking about meaning like, I don't know, how religious people normally wear collars or something like that, saying that people are too pure. But I don't know, yeah, that makes sense what you're saying.
The next stanza says, moon too waxing when she is not yelling at him or asking about the...
I think the moon could also be a symbol maybe. It started to illuminate the truth maybe. She's starting to see that she's complaining too much maybe, and so it's starting to realize like that she's too critical and maybe that she needs to put it back, but she doesn't know what to do. She's just lashing out. And then I think she's also losing that memory and understanding that she's like gaining. So even though it's like, I think it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You can think of it like that. So the next stanza, taxes, has Barbie Chang finished her taxes again, asking about. So I think now she's starting to get tired. Barbie Chang is tired of her mother's complaints. She's tired of dealing with her father. And she still has to do these things like taxes, which is something every person has to do. And she has to do them for them on their behalf now. Whereas before they were doing the taxes for her, like when she was a child.
Next stanza says, the taxes, the same taxes, or whether she can fix his brain, she lies. Notice the repetition of taxes again. It's twice in this stanza, and it was in the previous stanza as well. And then it goes into whether she can fix his brain. I'm not completely sure there if the she is referring to the mother or to Barbie Chang.
I thought it was referring to Barbie Chang. I thought the mother was asking Barbie Chang, can you fix your father? Like, can you do what the doctors have failed at? But I don't know. It could be something else. It could be maybe the mother can fix the father's brain because they've been married for so long, and then she can help him regain a part of himself.
It sort of goes into the next stanza, but for the word lies, when it says like asks whether she can fix his brain, she lies. Like it almost sounds like Barbie Chang is like sort of trying to spare her mother's feelings, like she's lying about whether his brain can be fixed because it obviously can't. And then it also goes with the next stanza because it talks about her like literally like lying down. So I feel like lies can be used 2 ways. It can be used as like telling a lie and then also just like lying down.
And so the last stanza is on her side, then body shaped like a large ear. So I think it's just talking about how she's slowly decomposing. Ear's a little bit concave in, so like the body, I guess, she's slowly losing her muscle, her fat, herself actually, her very humanity as she gets sicker and sicker and closer to death, which is a very depressing image. And now it's almost like Barbie Chang wants her to complain, so her mother is like her mother again.
And it's also interesting that they said that she looks like an ear, since they were talking about how she's losing her hearing and her senses. The fact that she looks like an ear is kind of ironic considering that.
So that's the end of the poem, but for some overall meaning of the word, I think one of the most important things that the author is drawing attention to is confusion and also repetition. Repetition of actions, repetition of words, repetition in general.